That made me realize that I don't need to be like the crowd. Because if you always in a crowd, you will never stand out. If you always in a crowd, you will never be seen. If you want standard results, if you want a standard life, then hey, be my guest. Live a standard life. Do the standard work and get the standard results. But if you want an above average life, you have to start looking at what you're spending time on. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode here on the Way of Girl podcast with your host Juliet. If you are new to this podcast, we discuss personal development, advancement, and growth. If you're someone that's looking to become the best version of yourself, then I'm here to help you with that. Or if you are someone that's on your personal development journey and you just need a few tips of, a little help, then I'm also here to assist with that. In today's topic, we're going to be discussing stop wasting time. So it's this scripture that I read last night at Bible study, and I think it was in Mark. Yeah, I was reading Mark 1 last night, Mark chapter 1. And this was when Jesus was, healing everybody after he came out of the wilderness. And the disciples came to him. They were saying that, oh, we were looking for you. People were looking for you in the town. And Jesus literally did not even answer to that. He just said, let's go into these other towns to fulfill my purpose. This is what I've been called to do. And when I read that, you know what I said? I need to be like him. Because so much people want your time, so much people and so many things want your time. And if you don't allot your time to the things that are important and that are going to help you to elevate your life, listen to me, you're going to pay for it. Jesus blatantly told them, let's go into the other towns to do what I've been called to do. That means I didn't spend time here. I didn't did what I had to do here. I ain't here looking for me. We go into the next town. And a lot of times we give our time to things and to people who don't deserve it. How many more years? And I always say this because how many more years are you going to stay in a relationship with somebody who ain't even close to any of the goals? They're not even on the level of the goals that you want to accomplish in life. Furthermore, they don't even have no goals for themselves. But you're wasting time with this person, trying to build this person up, trying to help them to understand that they can become great too. They can set goals too. You can't help people who ain't want to be helped. And I don't think I realized that until about 3 years ago, that you can't help people who do not want to be helped. Someone said this quote before, and it said, is if a person is on the ground and they need help, if they don't hold their hand up for you to help them up, then they don't want help. So stop wasting time staying somewhere where you have to where you're being drained of your mental, your physical, and your emotional health. All because you're trying to help somebody else see that there's more to life. You cannot help people who ain't willing to be helped. Stop wasting your time on things that serve you no purpose. Before the pandemic, I never lived a purposeful life. Never. I was always a person that motivated people. I was always a person that I had a little sense. I was almost quite there. But after the pandemic, it made me realize that I had to live a purposeful life. And not only the pandemic was a wake-up call for me, losing my brother last year in October, that was a wake-up call and made me realize even more that what exactly are you doing here? What impact are you creating? What are you doing to make sure that the generation after you has it a bit easier? What are you doing? Are you living a purposeful life? Or are you just living to be here? Are you living to just follow the crowd? Or are you willing to be the one to stand out? I never wanted to be like the crowd. And I know you don't want to be like the crowd. I never wanted to be like nobody else but myself. Because when I understood how unique I was, when I understood that I am fearfully and wonderfully made, that made me realize that I don't need to be like the crowd. Because if you always in a crowd, you will never stand out. If you always in a crowd, you will never be seen. And sometimes when you step away from the crowd, you will be lonely. These past 3 years, because I've decided to live a purposeful life, I don't have much friends. And when I tell you I am so okay with that, and the friends I do have, they know that, we don't communicate all day, every day, but they know when I communicate with them, I communicate with them. And I'm grateful that I don't have a dray load of friends because I don't want so many distractions. There's, like I tell you, there are so many things trying to get your time. Even social media. Like, you may think it all good that you scrolling for about 3 hours, but you know what you could have been doing in those 3 hours? You could have been for 30 minutes reading a book. You could have been for 30 minutes getting one little 30-minute hit workout in. And I'm not trying to tell anybody how to live their life. It's up to you. If you want standard results, if you want a standard life, then hey, be my guest. Live a standard life. Do the standard work and get the standard results. But if you want an above average life, you have to start looking at what you're spending time on. The reason why they always use the term spending time is because time is currency. You spend time. And the thing about time is you can't get it back. It ain't like money. Once you didn't spend money, you could get money back. When you spend time on something, you can't get it back. Because you only have 24 hours in a day. And the more you make use of your time on stuff that don't even make sense, or stuff that ain't even helping you to get to your goals or to your destiny of where you're going, you're losing your time. You could lose money and gain it back. But time, you could lose it and never get it back. So that's one thing I'm always conscious of. And the reason I decided to live a purposeful life is because in Genesis, it talks about how God made all of us to have dominion over the earth, meaning to rule over the earth. God made all of us to be good stewards. So if I'm not making proper use of my time, that means that I'm not being a good steward. That means that I'm not doing what God instructed me to do. That means that it's a slap in his face to say, well, you shouldn't have created me because I ain't even making proper use of my time. And some people may not get this realization that you must make proper use of your time until they're in their 40s and their 50s and their 60s. Whenever you get the realization, that's fine. I'm glad I realized it whilst I'm still in my 20s. And another reason why I started living a purposeful life is, like I said, to make it better on the next generation. I want better for my daughter. And even if you don't have no kids right now, if you're thinking about building a family in the next few years, you want better for them. Especially if you didn't grow up in a, healthy family or in a wealthy family. Trust me, you would want better for them. And then there are some people who say, well, if I ain't had it easy, they shouldn't have it easy. I don't think like that. That's just me. I don't want to think like that because I see that as selfish. Because God could think that way towards us, but he chose not to. And then a lot of things what contributed to me wanting to live a purposeful life and starting to do it was by changing my mindset. It's hard to change your mind. It's not an easy task. You don't just wake up and say, boop, my mind changed. It's hard to change your mind. I always go back to the story of the children of Israel because you know how long God was trying to change their mind? For 40 years. And I know some people may say, well, oh, God is the creator of all of this and he could have just changed their mind. He gave us free will. He gave us free will. He helped them get out of captivity, But he had them circling the wilderness for 40. He had them circling the wilderness for 40 years because he was trying to change their minds before they went into the promised land. And they wouldn't change their minds, so he waited until they had kids. And when the kids get grown, he let them die out. So what is that saying to you? If you don't change your mind, if you don't start to look at your life and begin to say, hey, I want to live a better life than this. I want to live a more purposeful life. And you're not being a good steward on this earth that God put you here to be. God will wait until you release whatever you got inside of your reproductive organs. And he'll wait until your kids get big. And you will die out and never see the promises that he had for you. And he will make sure they're done with your kids. All because you didn't want to follow through and change your mind. And today is a very calm day. It's a very calm day. I didn't even know what to come and talk to y'all about. But this was on my mind. And I think a lot of people need a wake-up call. A lot of people need a wake-up call to make you understand that you only have so much time on this earth. And what are they going to say about you? Every day you write in your obituary of what people can say about you when you die. I pray this podcast episode, touch somebody today. And that you will not only be touched in your heart and in your mind, but you will be touched to take action. So, until next time, guys, thank you for watching the Way of Growth podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you want me to touch on any other topic that you may be struggling with or something that you probably need a little help with, comment down below. Or you can send me the topic via email. My email is also in there. Or send me a DM on Instagram. And until next time, see you guys in the next video.